Welcome back to our channel. We had been boondocking in the Arizona desert for almost 2 weeks, and as much as we loved it here, it was simply just getting too hot for us, and we knew our time to move on was coming. On a windy day, we ran to town to do some last-minute errands before life on the road. Our chair's all blown over. It actually looks like the leg's quite bent now. The temperatures were beginning to climb, and with no shade in sight, we definitely were feeling the heat. And yes, we have 2 different thermometers in our boler. I guess that's what happens when American and Canadian get together. Today was going to be our last full day here in the Arizona desert with the cacti. As such, we had a few things we needed to do in town to prepare for life back on the road again.
Good nerd. Wanna do it again? Don't bite me. No nibbles.
However, first we need to get Stella, our dog, out before it got too hot and too windy for her. When she's in the mood, our dog Stella really loves the morning sun. We had spent the last 4 to 5 months wintering in the state of Arizona, and now that the temperatures were rising, it was time to leave and explore other areas of the United States. But before we hit the road and headed east, we had one last trip to do into town for errands. And we thought, a windy day, that would be a perfect opportunity. What could go wrong? Just got back from town, and apparently it got really windy because our table was sitting right here with stuff on it, and now it's over there with nothing on it. Our chairs have blown over. Where are the horsies? Do you smell them? Our dog Stella may be stubborn and many other things, but she has an amazing sense of smell. She smelt the horses long before they were even within eyesight for us. Watching the horses and their riders through the desert landscape really was a treat for us. It kind of reminded me of some old Western movie. The nickname for the breed, which Stella is, an English Bull Terrier, is the clown dog, and sometimes it really suits her. And other times, her senses seem super aware and she is super alert. And she'll jump up out of nowhere because she knows something's coming that we don't even know. Our last fall day in this beautiful area of the Arizona desert was coming to an end. Tomorrow morning we would hit the road again. So we went out one last time to capture as much of the beauty as we possibly could. And you know that saying, when people say that the camera can't ever capture the true beauty? Nothing is farther from the truth in this case. Each and every day, more and more cacti were blooming, and the flowers were getting bigger and bigger. Different types of cacti were beginning to bloom all around us, and locals tell us this was just the start. Many more species of cacti were to follow. We felt very lucky to be able to be here for the start of the cacti blooming. But boondocking with no power and no AC, it was time for us to leave. We get asked a lot about the different techniques we use to protect our vehicle from rodents and rodent damage. So on our last night here in the desert, I decided to film and show you the flashing lights that we use around the tire wells, under the engine, as well as our ultrasonic rodent deterrent that connects to our truck battery. However, in hindsight, walking around in the desert in flip-flops in the dark is probably not the smartest thing to do. Once again, I was attacked by the jumping cholla. The segment of the jumping cholla was attached to the front of my flip-flop. I had the genius idea of trying to flick it off my flip-flop. But instead, that backfired on me, and I ended up with the jumping cholla in my toes.
Oh, sorry. Those are sensitive things. Oh. Let me see. Did we get it all?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
I think so.
Okay. Make sure I got everything out of the bit of cactus juice on there.
The next morning, we were on the road again. We made it to northeastern Arizona. We found a free spot at the Crystal Forest Campground, located just outside the National Petrified Forest. Stay tuned for our next video as we explore the National Petrified Forests of Arizona.